makes Omarosa look normal. And you know, because they show the coming attractions for next week, and she's getting even nuttier.
This Jan person.
Yeah, whatever her name.
Whatever her name. She's going to be a big star.
Yep.
So Benjy interviewed some guy at the Republican convention. Like he went around on the street and interviewed Republican. I haven't even heard the thing yet, but Gary's telling me it's 9 minutes long, but it kicks ass. Because the guy just loses it.
Good. Let me hear this.
All right, you guys ready? What CD is that in?
Should be in 2.
All right. See what's going on here. I'll check in with you, see if you guys want to stick with us.
All right.
Hi, what's your name?
Bill Wilcox, Berkeley County, South Carolina.
And what are you doing here in New York City?
I'm here for the Republican National Convention.
And are you a delegate?
Yes.
What was his performance at the convention?
I thought he hit a home run. I thought he spoke from his heart. He's a man of his word, a man of integrity. And everything he said, I know he believes. It's my core values as well. And I think he's right up there with Ronald Reagan, greatest president we ever had.
Now, what do you think about the Republican Party stance they took calling for a ban on gay marriage?
I think it's the right thing to do. I think that the moral decay in America goes back to the family, and you have to protect the family, and marriage is the centerpiece of the family.
What about an hermaphrodite, if they're genetically both man and woman, and they have both X chromosomes and Y chromosomes, full sets, full genitalia?
Listen, that case is so minute and so small in America. I mean, it's a sad thing, okay? I don't know what to tell you about that. I mean, you know, it's just like, I'll give you, for instance, as somebody that says they don't want prayer in school. One person can make the entire school quit. To me, a democracy is not when one agrees with something, everybody else has to stop.
The Republican Party has taken a strong stance against abortion, calling for a ban on abortion. How do you feel about that?
Yeah, we're all Christians where we're living. One lousy Jew wants us to stop praying. Yeah, he does have his point of view, though, huh?
Oh, he's stuck in it, I'm sure. He's steeped in it deep.
I think it's the right call. My wife and I, we tried several times to have another child. And we spent thousands of dollars. And we did have another child. And I think it's because of my obedience to tithing in my church and being faithful to the Lord is the reason I had another child.
Don't you think it was science that helped there?
Well, yeah, that didn't help, all those operations and extra for drugs. It was the praying and the tithing.
And I think a child is something that's created. I think it's created by God. And
God was telling you not to have another child. Science stepped in.
I think anything that's made of God, you don't need to go in there and mess with it. I disagree with abortion wholeheartedly.
And are there any cases that a woman should be allowed to abort her fetus?
I don't think so, no.
What if in the case of rape or forced incest?
To me, it's the same thing. If my wife was raped, we would raise that child. Because,
and so should you.
That child's part of my wife. And I think that if she got raped and got pregnant and we had to have that child, it would be for a reason, and we'd raise that child.
What about in the case that the fetus is found to be gay? Should abortion be allowed then?
How do you know if a fetus is gay?
If like a male fetus is effeminate or just exhibits gay behavior?
How do you tell if a fetus exhibits gay behavior? You explain to me how that's possible. Determine if a fetus is gay, and I'll answer your question. If you can't.
Let's say scientists found a way to read a fetus's brainwaves, and they can determine this.
When they find a way to read a fetus's brainwaves, give me a call, and I'll be glad to discuss that with you.
At that point, if they find the fetus is gay or engaging in gay behavior, should you be allowed to abort the gay fetus?
And listen, when a fetus is in the womb, I don't believe a fetus is born gay. I don't believe anybody's born gay. That is a choice. If they feel comfortable being gay or whatever, that's a choice.
I'm just according to some organization where they said up to 10% of fetuses are gay.
I think they're wrong.
But you don't want to take a side on the issue if you should be allowed to abort a gay fetus or not?
There's no way to determine whether a fetus is gay or not. I don't think abort a child, period. I saw my son on an ultrasound, okay? I saw him move.
When you saw your son on the ultrasound, had he exhibited gay behavior, would you have been up for an abortion?
Why are you saying that a fetus would be gay? A fetus is not gay. It is a choice. A fetus is not going to be in a womb and say, ooh, I think I'd like to try to be gay. especially if he's in there by himself.
Well, let's say there was twins, fraternal
He's not
twins.
going to be gay by himself. That makes a good point.
I think I'd like to be gay.
Oh, you mean when you're alone and you're gay, you're not gay?
Yeah, if you're alone, there's nobody to be gay with.
How are you gay by yourself?
It's a smart move. That's why a lot of guys become gays.
Twins, two male fetuses, and if they engaged in gay behavior on the ultrasound.
And incest.
Yes. Would you support abortion in that case?
It's not possible.
Well, if
Tell me how you can prove it's possible, and I'll answer your question.
Okay.
You can't prove it's possible?
No, I can't.
You can't. Okay, go to the next question.
If two identical male twins were in the fetus and they were engaging in oral would it be okay to abort them then?
It's not possible for a fetus to be gay. Period.
But
Tell me how it's possible.
well, fetuses have mouths, right?
You have a mouth. Are you gay?
No, but if I put my mouth on a I would be.
How can you tell me how a fetus could be gay? Explain that to me.
I'm not a doctor. I just know that there's been cases.
If you're not a doctor, you shouldn't be asking the question because it's not possible. I'm not a doctor, and I know it's not possible. So I don't understand what you're asking.
But you just won't say yes or no if a gay fetus should be allowed to be
What I'm telling you is you won't say yes or no that it's possible.
Yeah, I think it is possible.
I don't think it is possible. So I don't think your question is relevant.
If I showed you a picture of a fetus,
Don't give me a picture and show me.
You know what's great? Any guy with a microphone can engage anyone in a conversation.
This guy doesn't have anything to do.
You can't because it's not possible.
is it possible to have two male babies in one womb?
Yes.
Is it possible that both those fetuses would have mouths?
It's not that they would be gay.
But
Period.
Is it possible that
No.
do fetuses get
No.
any joy in the womb?
No.
They don't have any pleasurable feelings in the womb.
I don't know that, and you don't either.
So the fetus doesn't even have any thoughts.
You don't know that. Period. It's a living being.
Right. It's a human, right?
Are dogs gay?
Some are, I think.
How do you know that?
I've seen gay dogs go to it.
You
I've
have?
seen dogs. I've seen dogs F a couch. I've seen each other. I've seen dogs F everything.
Maybe you should quit watching dogs then.
Okay.
Okay?
But if a fetus has thoughts and is a human, it's possible they would have gay thoughts, right?
No.
Do they think about anything?
Yes, I think they do, and I know why they can't have gay thoughts is because they haven't been corrupted. Okay, I think they're made by God, and when they get out, they're corrupted by sin in society. So, in my belief, it's not possible for a fetus to be gay. Period.